Alright, so that's it. And you can see they're lined up perfectly. Each one is over the next, like that. And what you want to do is two things I have to quickly mention as well. This is really important. First of all, if you notice here, because we didn't make the base nice and thick, if we had done that, these fronds would be lower down. They'd be down here, meaning they wouldn't be thick enough and long enough at the same time. So this was kind of smart. It's a living material. There could be different lengths, different thicknesses, and you just have to adjust to that as well. Or select something that actually works for you. Okay, now the second thing that's really important is, if you, as I mentioned, you can go down lower down the base of the actual frond. Let me just show you something. You'll see here, this is from the lower part of the leaf. The rest is going out that way. And you can see they're spaced wide apart. Therefore, when you wrap that around your head, you need less fronds. Now what that means, if you end up with 11 fronds, you have to split this up differently in order to make this bowl-shaped hat thingy, bobby. The thing that you put on your head. And so with 11, the way you have to split it up, you'd have to have always with all of them, with the ones, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, you have to always have 3. So put away 3, that's important. Then what we're left with, because this is 17, now we're sticking with 11. So what we're left with then is 8, and then we have an even number. 4 and 4 makes 8. But we always have to have a higher number on that end. So that makes 3 and 5. Now with 18 it would be 3, 8, 3, 8 and 7. With 17 we have to have 3, we have to have 6, and then we can have 8. And this is really important. Now let me show you what I mean. So we've gone here 3, then we have to count, so these 3 are pointing that way. They're in front of our bunch of 8. 3, and you have to make sure that they're all on top of each other like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then what we're going to do, see this now? This is going to be the weave our hat is going to end up being. And this bit is going to weave in like that and all the way around. And so we have to have 8 in order to go, let me show you, around like this. So we're skipping over 8, and then we're going to weave into these 3. Okay, that's pretty much clear for now. Okay, so depending on the size of the actual hat, I mean how many fronds you have to adjust it accordingly. Now they don't explain that anywhere, so this is really important to get the correct measurement for your head, for your hat. Okay. Now this is going to seem complicated, but once you get this, it's actually really easy. Once you get this, it's going to be so nice to make your hats. So we have our 7 here, no, our 6 here. Sorry, this one belonged to here. 3, 6, and 3, and 8. What we're going to do now is, in order, just look in here, in order for this to fold up, it means that always the spine has to be pointing downwards. Because if you go around like this, it's going to be twisted up here and you don't get the nice fold here, which makes it really comfortable for your head. And you just have to do it like that. So you always have to fold this like that. Point it downwards, go over your 8, okay? And again, this is really important to keep it tidy when you're weaving. So you might try like 1 or 2 hats and you might mess it up, but then eventually you get really good at it. So just go over here, making sure that these fellas, when you're weaving them in, you're turning this, and this is roughly following the rim. This leaf has to follow the rim here so that it stays even, everything stays even. Now you've gone over 8, you have to go, so you're lifting this one up, But make sure you don't lift it up like that. You turn it, again, you turn this one as well. You have to turn them all this way. Turn that one. Put that behind it because it's over the 8, under this one, the next one. Over this one. Okay. At the moment it becomes difficult to hold it, but later it becomes really easy. Okay. And then, just like that, look. Now we're going to take this one, the next one up, the one that's lying on top of here. Okay, so you're just going like that. Bring this fella over like that. Turning him around. Spine pointing down. Going over. Yeah, lining them up properly. And in this case, you always select the last 2. Okay, so you've done 3 for the first one. Remember the 3 we put down. So then what you're doing is you just take this third one away, leaving 2. And you always put it under the 2. Like that. Which will become apparent now in a second. So we've done 2. Okay, so under the 2. Right? You put that behind our arm like that. And then to make a third one, we lift this one up. So we have a third one. This is important. Don't forget this one. And again, just behind those. Like that. And you push this down. So these have to be down. This is also important. So he's starting to make the hat shape. And now it's actually becoming much simpler to go along. So you just go like that and you've got it. Now the next one is going to be this one, because that was the last one. And I'm just going to go again, turn it around like that. And just follow the same pattern all the way along. Just finding my 2 again. That. Lift this fella up. Put it in under there. Pull these guys down. And when you're doing this, you have to really pay attention. Like 100%. Just keep at it. Don't let yourself get kind of, distracted or anything like that. Do it in a quiet room, quiet space, somewhere where you're not going to be distracted, because you really want to focus and not get it wrong, So I'm just going to carry on now. Just keep doing that. And when we get to the end of this one, once we've lifted this last one up, we'll have another chat. And just lift this one up. There we are now. Okay, so what we're going to do now, take the next one again. Just keep taking the next one. Again, turn it around. And because we haven't got any more to lift, what we're going to do, it's obvious pretty much. We're going to lift up this guy here, which is our next one. And we want to make sure that when we lift it up, that this is correctly, that we don't twist it or anything like that. That one over there, and this one goes under. Like that. And there we are. There we go. And then it's relatively easy to see which one is the next one by, if you get lost at any stage, this one was the last one, so you just follow it back, wiggle it about a bit, find where it stops at the base here, and then just pick the next one by pulling at it, and I know it's this one, and then I know it's the correct one. And this one had been, see, it's already been woven in the whole thing. There we go. And now you can see, because I left these kind of loose, following the rim, it's actually really easy to pick them up. Otherwise, what you'll have is there'll be more across like this, and then it gets really tight in here when you're trying to weave it in later. So now all I've got to do is just keep going around, weaving these in, following the steps like that. Just keep weaving them in. Okay, so I skip now to the last bit when we get to the last one, and I'll just show you then. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'll show you this one. Last one, again, turning this one. This one's a bit. Turning around in there. Let's point in the right direction. And then if you've done it correctly, which we have, you should end up with this fella coming out here. And this one's come out here, this one's come out here, and this one's come out here. And we have, just pull that one through. And there we have it. We have the makings of a hat. So now we have to tighten it up. Let me just show you how to do that, just real quick. Okay. So what we can do is when we pull at these, now before we pull at anything actually, we need to just make sure that everything is correctly lined up. So here, I can see I've made two mistakes. Can you see it here? Look. That's always nice as well, just to have a good look. So make sure that all of these here are pointing in the right direction. You can see here, these two are not pointing in the right direction. And so I'm just going to real quickly twist them around. And that's it, that one's correct. And now just this last one here. And you're pointing in the correct direction as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we start with this one, because this is actually the point here, see? Where this one is the lowest part, and we want to just tighten up this one a little bit. And when we're tightening it up, we want to go towards the corner here as far as possible, because that then means that these guys tighten up a little bit as well. So when we're pulling, just start off gently and slowly, just going around the whole thing, just tightening it up. And then you just keep going around like that. These ones actually you want a little bit higher for now. It's the back ones that you want to try and get down now. So we start here. So what you want to do is you want to evenly make this go down. Alright, so once I have that closed up, I'll show you the next step. Okay, so we've got it pretty even. And what I was doing as well, just to get it rounded up a bit, is let me just do it from this side so you can see what I'm doing. It helps to kink in this little fella here. Now some of them are already doing it. And then you're pulling towards here a little bit. And you can get all these kinks out that are looking a bit unsightly in a minute. First we want to close this hole a little bit. See, when you press down here as well, this really helps to just bring them together. You notice it's actually sinking down quite a bit. We can repair that now in a second with another simple trick and step as well. I'm just going to show you now in a minute. But first we want to close this. So now I'm going to start pulling a little less stronger, just a little bit more down in there, two in there as well. And that's it. There's our shaped hat. That's it. It's pretty low now here. But what we're going to do next, and this is going to bring up the height on it, no problem, is we're just going to weave this guy under here, this guy under there, under here, under this one under that one, this one under that one, and so on. And this is going to raise the whole thing up a little bit, tighten up these little fellas here. And I mean, even now, I can stick it on my head, and it won't come off. There we go. Gonna see, just show you one of them, and then I'll skip to the end bit. So I'm going like this, pushing this fella out of the way. This guy under and over there. It's easy when you're doing it when you're sitting, actually. Be just very gentle with this step. Don't break anything now at this stage. There we go. And then what you do is, don't go and use this one. Start weaving under and over this one, because you have more space. Otherwise you're going to end up, this one is going to be under this one's going to be under with this one, and so on. So it's actually easier just to go around like that. Alright, so I've gone all the way around like that. Now this is the last one, which was, I've tucked that one under there already, and now all I've got to do is make it come out here. And it's also important to mention, because I forgot to mention that, is that in some places I also push this up a little bit. So push these a little bit up just to make space for them to come out. And that's it. Isn't that looking just fab? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now all we got to do is where this fond is pointing at. So remember, it came out here, it went in here, went around here, went out here, and just came around here somewhere. So it's pointing towards this corner. Now if we put it in here, like slotted in here, through here, it wouldn't be as good as if we stuck it in under this one. So that's what we're going to do now, is just stick this one under there, this one under there, and this one under there, and so on, go around. And then I'll just show you what you can do. It's pretty much finished now. So you just got to put them under there. And then you could, let me just show you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this one under this one, go around here and put it under there. And then I can just cut it off there. And if it does dry up and get a little bit loose, you just pull here, and that's it. Finished made hat. Right, that concludes this video. And let me just stick on my hat, my new hat. And I'm just gonna give it away to somebody, because I have a cool hat. It's a little bit tight for me, but within about a week's time, especially in this Kerala heat, it's gonna dry up nicely, loosen up a little bit, and it's gonna fit perfectly on, it would fit perfectly on my head. Now, another thing I want to share with you quickly as well, this is the land of the coconut. So any Kerala people watching this, share it in your villages, because like literally loads of people have been saying to me, oh, show me how to make it. And they've been like, wow, super, and all this kind of stuff. And in the center where I live, there's about 20-30 people who I'm going to teach now, and they're going to just do a great job at teaching everybody else. So I just teach them once, and then I can let it go. And Kerala people are really good at weaving and doing things like that anyway, so they just didn't know how to make this hat just yet. And yeah, so share it in your area. If you have any kind of palms or any kind of like coconut palm in California, I don't know if there's ones, or Florida, just show it to your people, to your friends, families, and don't buy a hat, just make a hat. That's it, that concludes the video. Thanks for watching, and I just wish you a very happy hat making as well.